Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about player housing, and more specifically we're going to talk about all the important dates that you need to know about player housing, when's it coming, what can you do, and all that good stuff. We've just come out of Gamescom and we've had a ton of information from different developer interviews, different panels and things like that. It was basically a mini BlizzCon and we know so much more about player housing, and I even got to play it as well when I was there. But before we jump into all the dates that you need to know, guys, I do want to give a massive thank you to the sponsor of this video, and that is Boot.dev. Boot.dev is an online platform where you can learn back-end web development in Python, SQL, Go, and other programming languages. Boot.dev know that the smartest way to learn code is to keep it fun, so you don't want to stop. The way that it's designed makes it feel like a captivating RPG game, where you earn XP, levels, achievements, complete quests, and fight bosses, all while learning to code. All the content is free to read and watch, and a paid membership unlocks interactive features like the hands-on coding, AI assistance, progress tracking, and the game mechanics. And they also have a free demo of the interactive experience on every course. So click the link in the description and use my code MrGM to get 25% off your first entire year on the annual plan. And thanks again to Boot.dev for sponsoring this video. Right, so yes, player housing is coming to World of Warcraft, and it's coming way sooner than we expected. It was announced at Gamescom that player housing will be coming in patch 11.2.7 and before the end of the year. And with some quick maths and calculations, we pretty much know what the date of that is going to be, or at least a rough date for that. So let's break it down by starting with patch 11.2.5, which is currently rumored to launch on October 7th or 8th, depending on your region. Now, this patch does not have player housing inside it. However, it will have Legion Remix, which will keep you extremely busy. Now, one thing I did want to mention with Legion Remix is that a housing vendor did pop up. So it's very likely that Legion Remix will progress over time and actually start adding rewards for housing once it launches in 11.2.7. So we will still be in Remix while we're building our house in 11.2.7. Now, Legion Remix is currently slated to run until January 19th, 2026, which is very interesting, and we'll talk about that date in a second. Now, let's move on into patch 11.2.7. Now, Blizzard have had a pretty consistent patch schedule of around about 8 weeks so far. So if we're going off this current schedule and this current timeline, patch 11.2.7 will potentially launch on December 2nd in the NA region and December 3rd in the EU. Now, it can obviously be, 1 week before this or 1 week after, or just around this date, but definitely early December seems a pretty solid guess for patch 11.2.7. Now, what is happening in 11.2.7? So, yes, this is when you can build your house. However, you will need to own Midnight. Midnight pre-orders have begun. They begun at Gamescom when they did the reveal, and yes, you will need at least the base edition of Midnight to be able to create your house. So what was said at Gamescom is that, yes, we will be able to build a house in 11.2.7. However, the neighborhood system will not be implemented. However, there will be neighborhoods, but the actual features and systems of neighborhoods will not be in. So the Alliance and Horde neighborhoods will be in. You can pick your plot, you can create your house, and you can do all of that as long as you have the Midnight pre-order. Now, guilds will be able to create their private neighborhoods. There will be public neighborhoods. All of that stuff will be in 11.2.7, and you will also be able to start collecting decor. Now, the cool thing about collecting decor is that you don't actually need Midnight for that. Now, decor is obviously the items inside your house that you're going to be placing, like chairs, tables, Onyxius heads, things like that. And these come from various different sources, like reputation vendors, old dungeons, different achievements, and things like that. And a lot of it will be retroactive. And as mentioned, you do not need Midnight for this. So if you haven't pre-ordered Midnight by 11.2.7, you can still go out in the world and start collecting all of your different items for your house once it hits general release in the 12.0 pre-patch. So yes, the 12.0 pre-patch for Midnight is currently rumored to be around about late January, early February, I would say. I would say February 10th is my kind of guess for this, but I don't know. It's going to be around about that time, though, if we are going off the current schedule. There is no Season 4 in The War Within, so we're not going to get an extended 11.2.7. We might even get a very short 11.2.7, with it potentially ending at the end of Remix on January 19th, and maybe even February 10th could be the launch of Midnight. But again, that's something that we will definitely have to see once we get closer to that. Now, the pre-patch will bring in the actual gameplay systems of the neighborhoods. There are two main gameplay systems inside your neighborhood. You have endeavors. So endeavors are a neighborhood-wide activity open to anyone who lives in the neighborhood. Endeavors occur approximately once a month, and when a new endeavor becomes available, the neighborhood is provided with the opportunity to learn from various cultures and factions of Azeroth by completing different tasks. If your house is in a private neighborhood, you can actually choose the specific endeavor you have, but if you're in a public neighborhood, the game servers will choose the endeavor for you. This pretty much feels like a kind of group trading post as such, which does give you rewards at the end of the bar, and to contribute to this, it is very similar to the trading post, just by kind of playing the game and doing different activities. The other system of neighborhoods is neighborhood favor, and this is more like a renown system, and this is used to level up your house and earn rewards, and as you go through this bar, you're going to earn different decor items and different perks for your house, like increasing the number of items you can have inside your house or the number of rooms and things like that. And those are the kind of the two main systems of neighborhoods which will be coming in the pre-patch of Midnight. Now, once launch happens, nothing else happens. That's it. That's it for housing. Obviously, housing is a kind of endless development. Things will change over time. They're going to add a bunch more. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting a housing roadmap for different features of this system, as Blizzard have said multiple times that they are fully committed to this system and making it the best it can possibly be. As said, I did actually get my hands on some housing gameplay at Gamescom. Honestly, the tech behind building and placing and everything like that is super impressive, especially seeing this inside World of Warcraft, but from kind of a gameplay point of view, for me, it's not something that's particularly for me. I'm more excited for the neighborhood system, and I'm kind of more excited to see what other people make, as opposed to what I make, because I'm very uncreative when it comes to housing. When I played it, I just kind of filled a room with a bunch of plants just to see how many things I could place, and I didn't even get close to the limit at that point. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty nutty system, and I'm really excited to see what other people make and how this system progresses over time. So yeah, that's it. Housing is coming in 11.27. It's before the end of the year. It's very likely going to be early December. Let me know down below your thoughts on housing. Are you excited for it? How do you feel about it? And how do you feel about it coming so soon? It is coming a lot sooner than a lot of us expected, and I'm super excited for that. Honestly, the collection part of it is the part that excites me the most. Just going out into old content and collecting all these new items is going to be a lot of fun. So guys, if you did like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft or within Midnight Alpha coming out soon, you can check me out on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.